This week on the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast, we recap all of the craziness that has happened in the World Cup, including Spain drawing Cape Verde 0-0. Also, the U.S. beats up on Paraguay. Will they win Group D? NBA, NHL, those sports are done. We recap all of that and more on this episode of the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Aaron, Josh, and Johnny.
Welcome to the show. Listeners, viewers, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time out of your World Cup watching schedule for us. We want you to listen and watch. I'm not sure I even recommend that strategy. You should probably be watching the World Cup right now. But in case you are not, we'll catch you up on what's happened. We'll give you some thoughts moving forward. We're reacting to everything as it has happened, including a shocking day in the World Cup. Is it the greatest upset of all time? We'll discuss, and you probably already know what we're talking about. One of us picked a specific team to win the entire thing, and they drew 0-0. We'll talk about that. But first, Josh, welcome back, man. How are you doing?
Hey, it's good to be back. I did the thing where I realized way too late I hadn't told anybody that I was part of our church's evening vacation Bible school, which I was going to try and see if I could make a little bit of it and then head back out. But then I remembered I'm part of the drama. I got to be a villain. I also got to be a pirate, separate roles.
Nice.
I was backstage most of the time. Why am I talking like Jeremy Goldhain's Tucker Carlson?
That's the rule.
That's the goal now.
That's right.
I dressed up like a pirate, and the kids bought it.
It's pretty good, Josh.
And they're supposed to applaud me. So
That's right.
afterwards, I then but I had to change into like 15 costumes, and so I had to unfortunately cancel at the last minute. But that's okay because I'm in a host city, so I get to chill.
That's right.
I get to feel so European. We'll talk about this in just a second.
So jealous.
I get to feel like a European. I get to take a train down to a place. I get to see kits. I get to see lots of people calling it football. I get to see lots of people wearing their country's flag. I assume that's what they do in Europe. Just a great time.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, Johnny, not because I'm not interested in how your week was, but I know that your week has just been World Cup. So what better way to talk about it than just to dive in? Josh, you mentioned it. You are in a host city and you have watch parties happening almost in your backyard.
Yes.
And I have heard through the rumor mill / our text group that you had a chance to partake in some watch party activities yesterday.
Yeah, as the least likely person of the three of us to be in a host city, Johnny, the watch parties are every day.
I know
that there is a finals game happening. So
I know
you have a month to make it down here, and I will take you on a train to a place where you can watch association football.
It's probably a good thing that a host city's not in Cincinnati or Indy or Cleveland or Columbus, because, I mean, while it would be great to go to a game, and I'm really still a little jaded about that, I would have such a hard time preventing myself from going there every single day to watch these games. So
it is
probably better you than me, Josh.
This is, and I have footage. I'll send it to Aaron, and if it's worth anything, it might go up on socials.
Yeah.
Or I might steal the social passwords and live put. I have not done anything on Instagram for years, but I will steal the password from Aaron and make the worst story you've ever seen in your life.
Do it.
But I will say, and I've given Dallas some crap, and I am still sending them to jail Saturday. Back up a little bit. I went downtown to the farmer's market because I knew there would be some World Cup style stuff there. good time. A lot of that was a day that a lot of Japan fans were going through, and so yeah, a great time. Saw some Jordanian kits for next week.
Nice.
Classic. Lots of Argentina, lots of Colombia, lots of Ecuador, lots of Mexico, but and I'm like, well, I'm down here. Let me go see what that stupid FIFA mural banner monstrosity is looking like. And it's the same. Guys, that picture I texted you where there's like mostly blue and then it's a top corner, still the same. The first day of games. And I'm like, there's been a little bit of rain this past week, but not. It was like a little bit last Sunday.
No, it's Texas. They should have just played off people's ignorance and said, those aren't whales, those are blue sharks. Because that would have been the correct answer.
Yep.
So yeah, again, straight to jail because you didn't even ruin it correctly. This feels like how we talk about the Browns or the Bengals. It's like you can't even fail right.
Right.
But anyway, notwithstanding, I'm very aware that Dallas does not have the best public transportation. It's called the Dart. It doesn't. That's our joke. But they're running trains every single day on 20-minute schedules, which is unheard of in
Nice.
Texas of all places.
It's amazing.
It's insane. At every the downtown hubs. I'm in a not a suburb, but I'm at one of the last stops north. You get down to the center of like the city and you have volunteers who are there for, I had a great conversation with one. She was there for like 12 hours that day, just helping people get from line to line. They have made a way to get to, legally, what am I allowed to say here? Dallas Stadium.
Correct.
Via public transportation. They have special buses. We have like light and heavy rail. So I took the Dart subway, we'll just call it that, for light rail, down, and then you can transfer to TRE. TRE takes you close, and then they had buses and shuttles and everything ready. So I'm like, hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I then went into it. They've done no advertising. When I say they've not done. I have lots of ad blockers everywhere. I do not listen to the radio.
Josh,
so I'm on a podcast, for goodness sake. They've also done no advertising. So I did not. I had to Google because I saw on Twitter that Austin had some really cool watch parties. And I'm like, you know what? I wonder if Dallas has a watch party. And it was like, hey, here's the official go down for the Fan Fest. And I'm like, cool. I'm so glad that I had to Google this. But because it's a host city, free, you can get up to 8 you can get up to 8 tickets at a time. There was plenty of space. Again, opening weekends. It's Dallas. They did not advertise. Group stage, all this notwithstanding, it was a great time. I watched I had mixed my times up. I wanted to go see all of Netherlands, Japan. I thought that was the late game. It wasn't Ecuador. So I ended up watching the second half of Japan, Netherlands. Fantastic.
Oh, you got the right half. Yeah.
So fun. So fun. I love seeing. I mean, it was still like 60-40. Oh, excuse me. It was still like 60-40 Japan over Netherlands as far as like representative there, but fantastic. People were just chilling in kind of the open air area outside of that. And then I sat for the first half of the next game. I sat around a bunch of Cote d'Ivoire fans. All the Ecuador fans were down in like the bowl of the watch party place, and I had sympathies for Cote d'Ivoire because Ecuador distance. It's easy. There's always going to be more Ecuador fans.
Yeah,
just because you can get there from here pretty quickly. Even though it is West Africa, so it's one of the most accessible as far as like getting anyway. I'm gonna say something geographically incorrect at some points. I'm seeing Johnny
No, you're
settle
fine.
into his face of like,
You're
all
all
right,
good
all right.
right now, Josh. You're all
say
good.
something stupid like it's north of Liberia.
That's right.
It's south. No, it's close enough. Close enough. It's not north of Liberia.
It's one of
That's
those
all
two.
It's one of those two. Or well, there's
Josh,
also
Josh,
east and west.
Be confident. You were correct. It's south. You got it. You said everything
And
correct.
I was first off not impressed with Ecuador's play, at least in the first half. For all the hype that I saw, not that they were receiving the most hype in the world, but
I mean, that was
Dark
I was
horse.
a team I thought could win the group.
Yeah,
South,
I no longer
South
think
America's really struggling right now. In
Yeah.
general, right now, like Brazil
Yeah.
drew, Morocco looked bad though. Looked very poor.
Yeah.
Like Ecuador loses to Ivory Coast, their game.
hey, say the name properly, Johnny.
Cote
You
d'Ivoire?
There we go.
Um,
When I said properly, I meant the cool, authentic way.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're saying it the right way, but
like Paraguay obviously gets blitzed by
Oh,
the
you said
US.
that one,
We'll
right.
talk about that. Like Uruguay right now, not great.
No.
Maybe we'll update you later on that.
yes,
And they only have Argentina and Colombia left who haven't played yet. So one of the
Yeah.
storylines right now of the tournament is South American struggles. So
yeah. It was so good to see. I unfortunately only had slept 4 hours the previous night, and so I had to tap out at the half for Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and hate that I did that. I hate that I was tired. How dare I be tired? We have all these. We don't sleep till May. We don't sleep. At some point, you got to sleep. Turns out, At some
Nonsense.
point, nonsense. If only my body believed that.
I know.
I genuinely had a great time. Everybody was helpful. And again, opening weekend, you're going to have a lot of camaraderie. It just felt great.
That's awesome.
So I will be going back.
yeah.
More group stage stuff. I won't go for England, Croatia because one, I'm working. Two, I don't want to have to deal. They've
You don't
given
want to
me
be
enough.
around the Brits.
I thought, hey, we're celebrating 250 years of our breakup, so I really don't want to be.
That's why I picked England to win the World Cup. Josh,
So they wouldn't. Yes.
Josh, you did bring up something there, right? The camaraderie, though. And that's one
Yes.
thing, like, you guys are on social media, I'm sure. Like, one of my favorite things is what a timeline cleanse I've gotten this week. Like, in the last week, it's all very wholesome. It's amazing stories of tourists and people traveling to the US and experiencing rural and middle America hospitality and just being in awe of Walmart and Costco and and unlimited refills and all the things that are American. So
Algeria going to.
is that your I was going to say, what do you guys
Lawrence?
have like
Yeah,
a favorite
Lawrence,
story?
Kansas.
Yeah.
Love that rock chalk Algeria.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
My favorite-
Amen.
My favorite thing that I've seen probably on social media has been Scotland in Boston. And I truly mean Scotland in Boston. Like the entire
Amen.
country is there.
Yes.
They went to Fenway. They're doing all the fun things. They're chanting. They're playing bagpipes. The whole thing. My question is there anybody left in the country?
Yeah.
And I think the answer to that is no. And if that is correct, then what are the squatters' rights in Scotland? Like if
can
I
we
show up to
reverse-
Scotland right now, am I in charge?
Aaron,
They
I
left
saw a
someone
tweet
back,
from
right?
somebody who lives in Edinburgh, and they're just like, "Why is it so empty here? It's a ghost town."
It's
And
amazing.
I'm- so cool. Boston's just part of Scotland now. If you
100%.
watch the Haiti Scotland match, which Haiti, by the way, played way better than most people expected and gave him credit for, I think that's been a theme as well.
Mhm.
You heard a just slight undercurrent at all times of bagpipes during that game. I don't even know if they're allowed in the crowd. Like if they're allowed
you
in the
don't-
stadium, I feel like they wouldn't be. But even if they weren't, there were that many bagpipes outside the stadium or something that it got through the telecast,
Mm-hmm.
and Fox usually has the crowd turned down, so that's saying something.
Oh yeah,
Like it was so good. I think Algeria's and Lawrence, Kansas is like the best story. But there's
so
been
good.
like Norwegian fans like trying to order in English at In-N-Out Burger. It's Japanese fans trying to
understand the American side of 7-Elevens, where we've been warning them, please don't. Oh my gosh, it's this downtown. Someone tweeted yesterday, oh, I'm so happy I finally found that there's a sense of familiarity. I found a 7-Eleven. We're all like, no, not that one. Not that one. Please, please, not that one. You don't go to that one.
It's so great. It's one of the beautiful things, not just about the World Cup, but about soccer in general. Brings people together, find all their commonality, and it's just such a lovely tournament and competition on and off the pitch. And it hasn't let us down at all. I think, all the issues leading up to the World Cup, and they say it every time, and it's very true. It doesn't fix all the problems, but once the play starts, it rarely lets you down, and it kind of takes over, and you get an overwhelming sense of positivity surrounding the tournament, flaws and all. So
it's really beautiful to see, and I will say, minus the British, it's been such a cool experience to see people who are like, oh, and whoever was in charge of, we've hit this a little bit with Scotland and just existing in Boston now forever, even more so. Whoever booked locations for these countries to like practice that train at, it's been so good because everyone can see. Yes, everyone wants to see the cities. Great. Turns out we have roads and traffic and people and high-rise buildings. Dallas is boring in that sense, and in most other senses. But like getting people like, hey, here's a random. You're in the plains, my guy. You're in.
Welcome to Auburn.
Welcome to Auburn.
Yeah.
Go hike on the App Trail.
Yeah. All the TikToks are like, man, does Messi know that this is where the kick six happened? It's so good.
Lemanu Mall, grocery shopping at Walmart. Like it's an event.
Yes.
Like to go to Walmart.
Man, I love it.
And meanwhile, the British keep insisting that
man, Josh is just hammering the British.
I'm trying because everyone's been so nice, and then the British are like, "Oh, they don't even know what a proper sandwich is," and it's a block of cheese and half a raw onion. And I saw today some guys like, "Oh, why don't you try like caramelizing the onions? You grilling them up or something, maybe melting a little bit of the cheese." And he goes, "What? You gonna dip it in sugar?" But no, that's not what caramelization means. I can't say. I wanted to call them a British swear word, but I think that's still bad.
That's okay. That's already been covered this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
on national television.
Thierry Henry horrified.
Right.
Let me segue us into kind of us talking about the games that are happening, because we're going to do a little bit of buy and sell based on what's happened in the World Cup. Also, the NBA, NHL have wrapped up. But before that, Johnny, your quick 60-second reaction, which this will be available on Instagram as well. Johnny, you're making some really nice kind of recaps of games, but for the purpose of this podcast, your 60-second recap of what we saw between Spain and Cape Verde, because that may be the greatest upset ever. And I know it's a draw, but I'm not trying to be a prisoner in the moment, but
Cape Verde won. I know technically a draw. First off, shout out to Steven Moreira, Columbus Crew defensive legend on Cape Verde. He was fantastic for the Blue Sharks. So people always ask, how's this possible? One, usually this breaks everything I'm about to say usually doesn't end up working fully. So there was an aura, there was a sense, there was a feeling in that match today. But the Blue Sharks did such a good job of staying connected defensively and not being overly aggressive. Aaron, they committed one foul. One foul. I actually thought that was the most telling out of any stat. Yes, Spain completely outshot them. Of course they did. There were some incredible saves by Cape Verde's 40-year-old goalkeeper. He was fantastic. but they weren't overly aggressive. And Jamal even came in late in the game, and so did Nico Williams, and it did not matter. Maybe if they play the whole match, it's different. Yes, Spain hits the crossbar, but Spain couldn't win the ball in the air, so they had to go through, which is normally what their preference is. But Cape Verde stayed compact. They stayed connected. They did not allow Spain to pull them apart, as Spain does to far superior teams in their passing. So maybe if Nico Williams, Jamal, they're both out there together, by the way, at the same time, they're able to get more width and dissect the defense more. But Cape Verde was brilliant. They nearly scored. I think that was in like the 88th minute. It was a beautiful crossing header. Like, maybe if he just doesn't head that into the ground and is able to direct it at the goal, they actually score. Like, Haiti had a good showing, which I said, yes, I know what happened to Curacao, but it was 1-1 in the 35th minute, and that's better than I would have expected out of Curacao against Germany. I think the underdogs in this tournament, for the most part, have exceeded expectations. Does this mean Spain's done? No, Argentina lost their opener to Saudi Arabia last World Cup, and this is a more forgiving World Cup. This could mean, depending on the outcome of Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, and the rest of the matches in group stage, Spain could have a far more difficult path if they don't finish first, which is what we always talked with the U.S. So I don't think it's time to panic if you're a Spanish team. You should be extremely disappointed. However, a blueprint has been somewhat given of Spain really needs width. They like the ball on the ground. Do they have a holding forward? Do they have an aerial winner offensive? I don't know. But I still think they probably win this group, all said and done. But right now, it's to be focused on Cape Verde and how incredible they were. And you have to just feel so great for not only the players, the coaches, the fans that traveled, but everyone in that country has just got to be on cloud nine today.
It's awesome. And it kind of answered the question that I asked last week. I'm like, hey, I like this 48 team field. I like that it brings more exposure to more teams. You talk about the camaraderie of all these different countries, like more of that, please. The concern was, okay, are these teams just going to get blown out of the water? And while, Curacao did eventually lose 7-1, you're right, they were tied. And then look what Cape Verde did. So, I think that answers that question for now, which is exciting. We're going to jump into buy or sell, where we buy or sell, or in other words, agree or disagree with statements that we have prepared in advance. Most of these are World Cup related because obviously, but we will get into the NBA and NHL. This is kind of our way of wrapping up those respective seasons. So I'll give the statement. We can quickly buy or sell. So number one, Canada, a host nation, gets eliminated in the group stage. Buy or sell?
Buy. It's funny. Please.
I'm going to sell. Barely. Now, Switzerland really kind of screwed this up by not putting Qatar away. But Qatar is not. So here's the issue for Canada. And this was the issue in the Bosnia game. They have to possess the ball against Bosnia and Qatar because those are two teams that they're totally fine not possessing. And Canada, if you watch, the Copa America, and typically they're undermanned unless they're playing one of the small Caribbean nations in CONCACAF. Canada has to initiate the game. That's not their preference. And then I need to know if Alphonso Davies is healthy.
Yeah.
Like, he did not play in that game. It mattered so much that he wasn't on the pitch. And Canada always has kind of lacked just that clinical finishing at the end of the game. They should have beaten Bosnia, even the way that game went. They just weren't able to put some goals in the back of the net. And that match against Qatar is going to be similar. That's going to be telling. If they can't get a win against Qatar, they're in massive trouble against the Swiss in the group finale. So I think I think they probably finished second, like I assumed at first, just perhaps with fewer points.
Yeah, I'm going to sell just because, well, a couple of reasons. One, they didn't lose to Bosnia.
Right.
They drew. They got a point. all you have to do, and I say all you have to do is in like they're just going to waltz in there and do it, like you said, but all they have to do is beat Qatar and it's over. Because 4 points, at worst, you're a third place team, even if things go sideways against Switzerland. I shouldn't say it's a guarantee, but it's 95%
yeah, 4
sure
points.
If you have 4 points,
you're
through. Because there's going to be, we've done the math. We talked about that already. So I'm selling. I think they do beat Qatar. I don't think they beat Switzerland. I think Switzerland bounces back a little bit. But you're right. The injury concerns for Canada, that's a big question. And if you're telling me right now, well, Davies is not going to play at all, then maybe that changes my mind.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm assuming and therefore selling. All right. Next, buy or sell. Hydration breaks have nothing to do with player safety.
I had to put this one in here because I'm so peeved by it, as is every former player and Virgil van Dijk.
Right.
So I feel like I'm in proper company here.
Yeah.
It's just for ad revenue. Like, it's totally bogus. And for people who are like, well, you're trying to make it level between indoor facilities and outdoor facilities. You already had a law that said
that's what they're concerned about.
If it's specific heat index, temperature, humidity, you have to give hydration breaks. And they would only even do that in the first half or second half, sometimes like just one of the halves, depending on if that was the only time that the heat index was at that barometer. So we already had that rule. It's insane that in that Japan-Netherlands game, in the second half, we're stopping all the momentum of that match that has such an outstanding rhythm to have so that we can do 3 minutes of ads. That's what it's about. It's about ad revenue. It's about money. Get out of here with the player safety thing. We already had a rule. And back then they weren't breaking for commercial. Like soccer is not quarters. It is halves. It destroys the rhythm of the game. It's giving teams timeouts. So if you just got scored on, you have a chance to regroup. If
Cough, Germany.
I'm so frustrated by it, and I think most soccer fans are very frustrated by it. And unfortunately, I don't know whether it's true or not. It's just a way to dunk on America hosting because they're Americanizing the game. I don't know if FIFA wouldn't have done this anyway, because it's really FIFA's pit call more than anything. But I hate it. I hate it. It has nothing to do with player safety. Nothing at all. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah. I'm buying in the sense that I agree. It has nothing to do with player safety.
At my watch party, there was no ads, but I can imagine that for you guys.
Yeah. Was it on Telemundo, Josh? That there you go. By the way,
that is the secret.
Yeah, Telemundo does not go to commercial break. They stay with live footage during hydration breaks.
Can we do alternatively? Instead of hydrate, and if we're going to do hydration breaks, can we do it like, was it Chile? What they did back in the 80s when they released the original Star Wars trilogies on TV, but they had to show ads. And instead they would just do like Cerveza Crystal, like have Obi-Wan pulling it out instead of the lightsaber. I'll accept those types of ads.
Like pan to the crowd and you have a random fan just holding up a Budweiser like can or the manager.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can advertise, but you cannot, like the camera cannot leave the field.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They already have those. That's called on the. It's called on the.
You're right.
I'm open to these additional ads in those ways because that's at least creative.
If it's not done extremely creatively, jail.
Yeah,
no,
I'm open to that.
Yep. All right. This may be the most important buy or sell we do all show. Buy or sell. The United States wins Group D. Guys, I am buying this. I was not buying this last week. I thought maybe second place seemed pretty solid. And look, maybe Paraguay is not is going to end up like last in this group with like a -10 goal differential, maybe. But I think it doesn't even matter who the opponent was. To see what the United States did, to take care of business like they did, to open up the first half of their World Cup like this, just on fire. I don't care if they were playing just the state of Rhode Island. Good. Like, we've never seen that from this team, at least in recent memory. That's the most goals you've ever seen. I'm buying. And especially because you got what maybe some people would consider an upset of Australia beating Turkey. Like, I think Turkey bounces back a little bit, but I like the US's chances. I'm buying this.
I'm absolutely buying. Everything Aaron said, like, absolutely correct. I felt a little bit better after the friendlies, as I said last week, but I still wasn't feeling fantastic. But everything we saw in the friendlies progressed into that match. They went for it, scoring early on Paraguay. They wanted to play in a low block, just totally got them out of their game instantly because now they had to go attack the US and they weren't able to. I'm still worried about the defense because they didn't have to play much defense against Paraguay except for a few moments in the second half, and they gave up a goal. I like how they responded, but the offensive attack is just brilliant with the spacing and the aggression. When they do lose the ball, they're instantly winning it back. Paraguay only gave up, I believe the stat is 5 goals in the last stage of qualifying, by the way, in South America. So this is the whole, they're a bad team. I had them finishing last in the group, not because they're a bad team, just I think this is a quality group without a really bad team in it. So, and Australia, that was a shocking result. Like Turkey really just unable to get the ball in the back of the net. Australia's goalie was phenomenal. So that can...
And that was a whole storyline too, because they took out their captain and their most capped goaltender, and then this guy just throws a clean sheet out there. That's pretty amazing.
I mean, that makes the manager look pretty smart, huh?
Yep.
So like that can throw a total wrench into that match on Friday. I still think they find a way to win this group, though. I don't know if they get all 9 points still, but that really doesn't matter. I feel really good about this squad, and getting first in the group is critical for advancing in the knockout stages. So I'm absolutely buying.
I'll buy it too. Hosts nation, 250th.
Yeah.
We're buying it.
I like it. If they would finish first, they will play their first knockout stage game on Wednesday, July 1st. So make some plans so you can cancel them. All right, we're going to shift over. We're going to come back to the World Cup here in a little bit, but we're going to shift over to the NBA. The New York Knicks wrap up the NBA Finals 4-1, that series, taking all 3 games in San Antonio. So buy or sell, De'Aaron Fox is the reason the Spurs lost the NBA Finals.
It's funnier to buy.
It is
funny. It's funnier to buy. I'll sell only in the sense of it. You
don't be diplomatic about it, Josh. Who's the most at fault here?
Breakdowns do not come down to one person. You don't have a whole series collapse because one person was off. We've seen this before. It takes at least 2 people. And I will say the person that everyone was talking about who had a little bit more of a monumental collapse, there's an inverse relationship here to the height of the player and the amount of clutch plays he made.
Yeah, that's well said, Josh. I'm going to sell as well. You're right. It's easy to dunk on De'Aaron Fox, not in the literal sense, although it probably is because he's like 6 foot tall. But in the the Twitter sense as well. I'm going to sell here though, because to me, watching Game 5 specifically, I'm watching De'Aaron Fox just throw up brick after brick. To me, Mitch Johnson in that situation is the one that needs to say, this guy does not have it. Also, this guy's probably injured. Like, we knew he had injury concerns, like with the ankle. That was not the same. Like, should De'Aaron Fox have taken that shot in Game 4? Of course not. Bad decision. The Spurs probably win Game 4 if he just does the normal thing and backs it out and hits his free throws, whatever. But I'd also tell you, De'Aaron Fox is the kind of guy that usually, from an athletic standpoint, there's no one blocking his shot on a breakaway. Like, he's jumping way up, slamming it home, end of story. So I don't think he was fully healthy. Not that excuses some of what happened, but that's up to Mitch Johnson. You had Dylan Harper, who is unbelievable. I love Dylan Harper. You needed to put him in better spots and get the ball out of Fox's hands. Because that was just a black hole. It was not working. So in at least Game 5, I fault Mitch Johnson a little bit more. So I'm selling.
Yeah, I'm going to buy with the caveat that it has to be the 2 of them together, De'Aaron Fox and Mitch Johnson. Because
okay.
I know that's like cheating. because he's supposed to be the veteran on the team. So it's not
Sure.
even just about him not playing well. It's about the decision making and the leadership that he failed to supply, for the team. So if you're De'Aaron Fox, it's not just that you're missing the threes, it's that you're taking them. It's that you're not stabilizing the team, even off the stat sheet. Mitch Johnson allowed in game 4 a 24-2 run, something like that, without calling a timeout. It's just ridiculous. And I know it's basically his first year as a head coach, so it feels almost harsh and unfair, because it feels also like the Spurs were a year ahead of schedule in getting this far and overcoming the Thunder. So I don't want to I think people are being even a little too harsh on Mitch Johnson, just you have to fire him, get rid of him. It's like, well, hold on.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
like the people who are like, you have to make a trade to help Wemby. Calm down. This team is so young. The coaching staff is so young. That doesn't mean it's not his fault, though, in the same breath. So they got to learn how to close out games. And it just felt like you watched the exact same game over and over and over again on repeat. It was just insane. I mean, Aaron, we watched that final game together, and at no point did any of us feel any better than we did at the beginning of the game that the Spurs had a chance to win that, even when they were up 16 points.
Right. I mean, what the Knicks have at the end of the first quarter, 15 points, yet they were only down by 8. And so we were like, oh, it's probably over.
Yeah.
Similar vein, buy or sell. The Spurs, so I had a different statement here, but I like this one better. Buy or sell. The Spurs win an NBA title in the next 2 years.
Ooh.
Buy.
Buy.
I think they figure it out.
Yeah.
I think you need to get a veteran point guard and somebody that can not be Luke Cornett when Wemby's off the floor. I think if you do those two things and you have and just the fact that they get experience, I think they'll be fine. They'll win a title.
Mm-hmm. You got to remember the people that the 3 players that people really were looking at on the Spurs team this year are all under rookie contracts. This is, at the end of the day, this is, yes, the breakdown is funny, or the fall off is a little funny to watch. Thank you, Knicks in 5. It's entered the seamless shift from Knicks in 4 to Knicks in 5. Beautiful. But this is a young team that is. Someone said this on TikTok a few weeks ago, or more near the start of this finals. They're like, Knicks might need to sacrifice so that the Spurs don't get hungry.
Mm.
We could be seeing the next rise. I really do think we are seeing the next rise of the, darn it, the Spurs keep getting stupid
round
good players,
pretty
decent, good coaching, great play, and longevity. And it's all else being equal, we just had this a decade ago. Can you guys please chill? 15 years. Can you guys please?
It's their only professional team. I'll allow it.
Yeah,
I will too. I'm not upset at it, but I am going to see. I'm curious if this becomes the next. But it's the Spurs. There's not the same hate, but depending on how they play themselves, this could be the next perception of NBA like we see KC.
They're just going to do the same thing the Spurs always do. They win a title roughly every 3 years.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm going to buy this as well. Josh, really to your point, just the youth of this team and Dylan Harper, man. I think he's just so legit. And I think that 1-2 punch between, by the way, Victor Wembanyama, 22 years old.
He's so young.
He's so young, but also still has unbelievable emotional intelligence. It's interesting to hear people's perception of him in this final specifically. I think people still love him. But depending on how you were rooting in that game, or even if you were just a neutral fan, you may have a slightly different view of him now in the finals, and I love it because he basically said, you know what, New York, you're booing the heck out of me. Fine, I'll be the villain. I'm just going to truck Jalen Brunson on a play. Like, good. Not like if I'm a Spurs fan, I don't necessarily want to see Jalen Brunson just get flattened in a dirty play, but I do want to see Victor with that edge and just an angry Victor Wembanyama, because that is a terrifying thing to think about. Now, there's obviously some work that needs to be done. Josh, you made an astute point as well, like the number of clutch plays by him, and especially relative to this next guy we're going to talk about, was not the same amounts. So, buy or sell Jalen Brunson, NBA Finals MVP and champion now, is the most clutch player ever. Buy or sell?
I'm going to buy because it's going to make all the Jordan fans furious. Jordan and Kobe fans just
This is
so angry. So I'll totally rage bait and say absolutely. I will
he
say
stopped
in the
at
last
47 points in honor of, or sorry, stopped at 45 points in honor of Kobe.
in the last 4 minutes of these games, at any time he put a shot up, I'm like, and that's just going in. I know it will. And for the most part, that was the result. So I'll stick with it and say yes.
I'm going to sell, not because I'm like, oh, but what about Jordan? What about Kobe? Because like, I don't really care about those conversations too much. I'm only selling because like, I'm kind of waiting to see what he continues to add. I will say, as a Pistons fan, Jalen Brunson did that to my team for 6 games in the first round. So I've encountered it firsthand. It is like Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter is just something else. That drive he had where he had Wemby pulled out on the 3-point line, took him 1v1, little hesitation, got to the like that play. When that happened, I was like, oh, it is over. 45 in a closeout game. Unbelievable. When not just that he had 45, but the rest of his team had 47. Unbelievable. You talk about putting a team on your back like he did, just something special. So I'm like selling, but like not. I'm keeping most of my stock back if we're making that analogy.
I'll go ahead and buy because of the consistency, like Aaron said, to how clutch he had to be consistently. I can think of moments. I can think when we think Jordan and we think Jordan clutch, flu game. When we think LeBron, we think of the block. You can now, these are just quick ins and outs. They were obviously a lot. They also had runs, with LeBron's case. There's still consistent greatness there. It's been a while since I have seen the concentration and longevity of the clutchness if we're going to run this scientific scale with Brunson. So I'll buy simply because of the consistency that he has been clutch.
Yeah. Yep, I like it. All right, NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes defeat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-6 games. They do it in Las Vegas. So naturally, because we are all salty Blue Jackets fans, buy or sell, Vegas fans deserve this after all of their quote unquote suffering of that 1 year they didn't make the playoffs. Buy or sell.
I'm selling everything else I bought to buy this.
It's a good trade.
Yeah, it is. I'm buying this too. Not that they hadn't lost the Stanley Cup final before, but like Carolina, I'm very neutral towards you, other than the fact that I picked you in picks of the week. But yeah, if Vegas was going to win again, that was going to be tough to handle. So I'm buying.
And I realize
all the same reasons.
And what's nice is it's not just that we are salty. Sorry, I'm getting a call from St. Louis, but not any number I know. I'm going to cancel that. I don't think you guys can hear that, but East St. Louis, Illinois.
Maybe they were trying to get on the show though.
Here's the issue: you're not supposed to go to East St. Louis when you hear that all the like St. Louis is one of the most violent cities in the world. Blah blah blah. It's East St. Louis. That's where you get the numbers. It's our O block. Their O block. Anyway, sorry, you can cut all of that or none of it. I don't care. I realize we're talking about salty Blue Jackets fans. It has been encouraging as a salty Blue Jackets fan to see that everybody else agrees that Vegas is the devil incarnate and does not deserve anything they have ever been given. This is it's worse. I mean, it's
that expansion
it's worse
draft,
than,
man.
Oh,
what a racket that was.
There's gonna be so many documentaries and biopics on that.
Rigged. Totally.
But at this point,
rigged.
though, we're 9 years out. Like, yes, they obviously changed the rules right after that. But like at this point, Vegas is just a well-run organization. And I hate that.
At this point, they've
From
just,
someone who doesn't root for one of those.
They've settled into being dominant. Yeah, just being good.
Yeah.
And
well,
how dare you
maybe.
guys?
Pistons, maybe. All right. Buy or sell. More teams should fire their coach with 1 week left in the season. Obviously, like Vegas did, hiring John Tortorella, who at least took him this far. Now he doesn't have any clothing anymore, but he got him to the Stanley Cup final. Buy or sell?
I'm buying.
Buy. It should be mandatory.
Oh, yes. You have to trade your coach one to the left.
Oh.
We're doing White Elephant coaching.
Yeah, I like this. I'm a firm believer, and there are good coaches that are just program builders that can't get you over the line to a championship, but they're excellent at pulling you out from the gutter to relevancy, but they can't finish the job. And there's other coaches that can't build a program, but they can finish the job in a short term. So I actually think you might see this more often, and it potentially could work because it nearly did for Vegas.
It does seem to work more in hockey than I think any of the other four major sports. I'm going to sell, though, because, like this example worked out great. But I think far more, it doesn't work out. And you just don't hear about it because the team just doesn't make the playoffs. Now, it kind of worked for Columbus. Like the fact that the Blue Jackets were even sniffing a playoff spot at points in this season was due in large part because they got rid of Dean Evison and they brought in Rick Bowness. But I think as a general concept, I think I'm selling just because I think the odds of it working, I think, are less than 50-50. So just from a number standpoint, I'm going to sell. Tunisia is hoping that does work, though, because if the reports I've seen are true, he gone. And understandably so, after a 5-1 loss to Sweden.
Also,
Yikes.
because that's not remotely one of Sweden's better teams, I don't believe.
Right.
And Tunisia's not bad enough to lose a game like that.
Yeah.
But
they got smoked.
Watch my video from this morning. I talk more about that match.
Yep. Instagram at 5th and Goal Sports and TikTok and YouTube. Those are good places for lots of World Cup content, including reactions. Yeah, Johnny, you're doing reaction videos, kind of recapping, because not all of us should stay up till like 2 a.m. Eastern time, but some of us have chosen to, and we're living with zero regrets other than we can't function like a normal human being. But that's okay. That's what this week is for. We'll sleep when we're dead. Except for Josh, who's smart and just actually slept.
He'll be alive. We'll be dead.
He'll be alive. All right. More World Cup. Let's make some picks.
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Maryland takes down Florida.
Chop this one up for the Gators. Chop a national championship for Florida.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
Well, it was a good run, NBA, NHL. You will be missed. We made those picks a long, long time ago. We got no additional points in the NBA playoffs than what we had picked previously. Josh, I think, had San Antonio if they would have come back 3-1, but there's only one man that can do that in the NBA Finals. The NHL obviously wrapped up. I did pick the Carolina Hurricanes to win the whole thing, so I get a point there. So I've got 4 points. Johnny, Josh, you guys both have 2. This week, nothing better to pick than the U.S. taking on Australia. So we're going to pick the winner. We're going to pick what we think the score of that match will be. I'm going to pick the U.S. winning 2-0, which is bold in the sense that there are defensive questions, Johnny, as you mentioned. But watching that Australia-Turkey A game, not that Australia didn't deserve it, because they absolutely did. But Australia was so good at countering and taking advantage of only the couple of opportunities they had. And so in my mind, if the U.S. can apply the same pressure, which I think they can offensively, Australia's going to be on their back foot a little bit. They'll have a couple opportunities, but I think against all odds, the United States shuts out Australia and wins 2-0. Am I drinking the U.S. Kool-Aid? Yes, I am. But you know what I realized? I'm too much of a realist, because I'm like, oh, the U.S. isn't that good. Like maybe second place. My expectations are low.
Me too.
Yeah. And so now I saw that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to be a changed man, at least for this team. I'm going to try to be like so many optimistic World Cup fans that I'm watching for all these teams. I want to be more like the Japanese fans who are singing the same dang song for 3 hours.
It's beautiful.
Like at least add a bridge or something, Japan. Come on.
No.
I don't.
Why?
They're consistent.
It's not even
Why
the
would you
full,
add on the perfect song?
No.
Aaron, they're nothing but consistent.
It's not even the full Take Me Home Country Roads melody. It's just like half of it.
Their own trash bags
But
to pick up the trash.
I know.
They're consistent.
You're right. I can't hate
they are
against the Japanese
lovely
fan.
people. Just
Yes, they are.
outstanding.
Yes, they are. So all that being said, US 2-0.
I have friends who are from Adelaide. They play with me I'm playing with them on Wednesday. I will be playing with them this coming Sunday. I cannot in good conscience pick against Australia, at least this first time, because they have been lovely, lovely people and frankly have helped set up my sound system in a way that I would not have been able to set up if they weren't here. I'm also an American and cannot possibly pick against this U.S. men's team. So we're going to do the great compromise. That's terrible. 2-2.
Okay.
Totally reasonable, both of you guys. And one thing I do want to say, I've been critiquing the defense. The number one thing that I took away from that game that I was pleased with, other than obviously just the result on the field, is that Chris Richards is clearly healthy. Did you know he had a 100% pass accuracy rate in that game?
Oh.
He completed 83 passes in that. All of them completed. He's outstanding. I might have my critiques when they're actually on their heels and back foot playing defense, but playing out of the back, especially with Chris Richards there, he takes some of the pressure off Tim Ream, and they can play out of the back really, really well. That being said, the U.S. is very aggressive in their attack, and there will be counterattack opportunities in here for Australia, much like Turkey. So I see it as unlikely that Australia doesn't get on the board. Hopefully Christian Pulisic's healthy. But Aaron, you're right. Like, for once in my life, I just want to drink the Kool-Aid too. So US wins 2-1 over Australia, nearly takes the group at that point. Depends on the result of the other match. But they could literally have the group wrapped up. Not after this game, but at the end of the day. They could have it all wrapped up. I think they win. This US team, I love the style that Pochettino has them playing, this aggressive attacking style, taking the game to their opponents with and interchanging parts positionally. I love watching this team, and it's so fun to see the country start to gain some momentum and some traction behind this team. And if they're able to beat Australia, that will only pick up and then some.
Yep. It is pretty wild, the mentality shifts from like, I hope we get out of the group stage till we win one match, and in true American fashion, we're like, we're winning it all.
Oh, that's it.
It's called
It's
soccer.
over. Yeah.
That's too far. Yeah, that's too far. I still stand by. We get to the quarterfinals. This is a really good World Cup for us. Obviously, it depends on our matchups, but that's why I've said it's so important that we win the group so that we're not playing Argentina in the round of 16 if we get there.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And you would be playing the winner of Group G, which at the moment looks kind of doable. So,
Johnny, you need to take on some of the mantra of the Knicks. You need to take on the entire, the personality that New York as a whole adopted.
I'm not New York, Josh.
During this whole...
I'm a nice, understated Midwestern boy.
And guess what you didn't, and guess what your team didn't do? win against the Knicks. So
hey, they did analytically, Josh. Let's not forget.
oh, sorry, that's right. Analytically, it was tied. So
Yeah. In fact, they may have won the NBA Finals. Well, we have no idea.
oh, that's fair. Yeah, we'll never know.
He thinks the Spurs won. Kenny Atkinson has got to think San Antonio won that series.
Kenny
Probably
Atkinson is currently in a coma because he has not been able to process why his team has not been invited yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. He's like really confused why the NBA Finals haven't started yet.
He's like, why is the parade in Brooklyn? That's nowhere near the river, nowhere near the lake.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. All right. More World Cup stuff, because that's what this episode is.
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
Did they need a guy on weekends to like walk around random McDonald's and like dressed as a Grimacy? Because I'll take that.
Are
Take that
you
job
okay saying
now.
bad things about the British?
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
Apparently, the answer is always yes.
Very
Yeah.
appropriate.
I don't even need to. I need no need. I just sometimes I want to.
Josh, I think we need to go. I need to go back to Great Britain and take you with me. We got to undo this.
Please.
We got to undo this. We get some good meat pies.
Listen, I'm coming from a place where I myself have traced my family back to Britain, specifically Nottingham. Like I know. I'm overcompensating as a form of apology for all the dumb stuff that all the other British people do that I've seen. Listen, I watched The Crown. I liked The Crown.
Oh, Jesus. Makes up for
I'm a
everything.
big fan of the Queen. Exactly.
I'm ready to bring down the mood because I went to a Reds game on Friday.
We'll start with that.
I'll just get it out
Johnny
of the way
didn't
here.
go, right?
He did not. Yeah. So way back, like a few months ago, I got not a season ticket plan. I wish, or I don't wish. I'm not sure which one. I got a ticket package of 6 games. So I picked out all the dates, like tried to find ones that work for my calendar, tried to also find things that were good for entertainment. Like I have, it's not here, but I have a Grogu bobblehead that I showed off a couple weeks ago. I'm looking at an Ellie De La Cruz bobblehead over here that you all can't see. It was a drone show and a fireworks show at the same time on Friday nights. I was like, that sounds great. Well, I didn't look 4 months ahead and see, hey, when would the U.S. be playing in the World Cup? So I foolishly scheduled a baseball game for that night. So Johnny wasn't invited, but he correctly made the decision to not go and to instead devote all of his energy to the United States, which was the right decision. I will say it was cool being in the stadium. They would show the goals when they happened and everyone went crazy. That was great. The game itself, this is my annual or semi-annual or triannual complaint about how the Reds stink. This game took 3.5 hours, which, mind you, I don't really mind because I enjoy being there, so whatever. But 14 combined walks between the two teams. Over almost 24 runners left on base between the two teams. 3.5 hours. We're in the top of the 9th, tied 2-2. Routine fly ball. Reds left fielder dropped it. Error. 3 runs eventually score. Reds lose 5-2. They stink. They will not probably be above 500 the rest of the year. It is just another, you know what? And don't even tell me, oh, there's always next year. No, there's not.
They really thought I was showing up. They
Actually,
really thought I was coming.
Yep.
Although it really hasn't mattered. They're just bad. So
they're just bad.
No, they don't
Johnny,
need you
like
for
as much as
motivation
we say
anymore.
you're cursed, and we have put, we've tried everything. Like Josh has researched how to break a curse. Like we've done lots of things on this show to try and help you out. It may not be you.
I've said it before.
That's what I've decided.
Even the Blue Jackets have a winning record when I show up. The Reds are the only team that I cheer for that I have a losing record. And 6-30 is quite the record.
Yeah, and I'm giving you a half loss because you were invited. So you do take some of the blame, and you were going to get none of the credit if they won. But
Well, you know.
that's how it goes. But correct decision by you, Johnny. The Reds are miserable, and I just had. If you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you know that about once every 5 weeks, I just sit here and complain about them, and here we are. So that's what I'm following. That they are bad. But thank you, World Cup, for being here, so I don't have to just watch them.
Aaron, I recently saw the skyline view, and specifically the focus on the riverfront stadiums in Cincinnati. And it's a shame the Reds are so bad because I really like Great American Ballpark. I think it's easy to get into and out of for the most part.
Yeah, it's great.
Always had a great time when I'm there. And what I think Dallas has done is they went, look at that cool venue and that cool opportunity. What if we just didn't? Because folks, within 24 hours of each other, both the Mavericks and the Stars decided no more American Airlines Center. It's old. It's over 20 years old.
Oh man.
It's 21 years old.
That's really old. Anything over 20 years old, ancient.
It's time for something new. So the Dallas Mavericks are moving up to still technically Dallas. If one more person says Addison, I'm going to...
Gary, Indiana?
Ooh.
At least it's not Gary, Indiana. We'll talk about you later. I have to spend time on Dallas because I don't understand all the ins and outs of Illinois real estate versus Hammond's Indiana real estate. I can imagine because it's Hammond, it's cheaper.
Oh.
One would think.
Here's the deal. You're going to see a lot of, first off, it's not Addison. I know Addison. I've been to Addison. It's in Dallas. Dallas proper, just not in the cool part of Dallas. All right? It's right underneath the Galleria. Everybody shut up. But they're moving to a defunct, closed down mall because everyone goes to the Galleria now in Dallas, while the Stars are going up to Plano and they're building basically their version of the Star.
Mm.
If you guys, I've not taken you guys to the Star. Next time you come down, that's the first place we're going. I'm picking up the Tucker Carlson cadence again, and you're supposed to.
My uncle took me there when I
subscribe.
visited, though, Josh.
You're supposed to subscribe to this.
Wild place.
But wild, absolutely wild. But if you've been to the Star, if you've been to any of these modern rebuilds of places, what you're seeing in Dallas is kind of the logical conclusion of the next generation of sports team ownership. Part of the reason both the Stars and the Mavs moved is because, I'm not defending this, but this seems to be the case. Neither of them owned the real estate and they didn't get cuts of the shopping. They owned nothing around it. They were renting a stadium. Victory Park belonged to nobody. It was just a neighborhood that Dallas put in around the stadium. The issue is, from a business perspective, that's not where ROI comes from. Or sorry, just going and selling tickets and selling ad space, that's not going to bring in the big bucks. The big bucks come from the real estate. We're going backwards. If you've seen, was it The Founder? This is McDonald's all over again. Their money is made on not the franchising rights. Their money is made on the land underneath each building. So what both Mavs and Stars are doing is building their own, what they're calling entertainment centers. And it's just like the Star. It's just like the Dallas, the Texas Star, Frisco Star, whatever they call it. I don't care. Where you go and it's a whole one-stop place. You have to go in there. You are in Stars land. You are in Mavs land. You spend all your money and everything goes back to the Mavs and the Stars will get a cut of their determination of everything sold there, everybody going in. The frustrating thing is neither of them are going to places that have robust public transportation. That was the beauty of American Airlines, is there's a DART station right there. There's a million buses that go right there. There's no parking there. Aaron and Johnny, when I took you guys down, I'm trying to remember where we parked. I think I parked just like a mile away, essentially.
It was also midday
could,
on a super random day.
Yes. Yeah. Even then, we still had to like walk forever. There's just no parking there. And so the beauty of it is that you can just take the DART in. And there's a station right there. It's beautiful. You walk through. Great. And And both of them said, no, we want parking. We want to collect the parking fees. So that's what they're doing. Now, there's rumors that there's dirt rail infrastructure by the Mavs because it's still Dallas proper. The issue is a lot of people in Dallas proper the little neighborhoods are starting to vote out dirt stations. So there's a chance that regardless of what's set there, the next time a midterm election or a little local election comes down, Dallas voters might just go, no, we don't want any more dirt stations. We want to drive there.
Oh, trains.
Remember when I took you trains? Put one train there, please. I'm so close to a dirt station and I can't do anything about it because that doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go to any of the places that I need to go to except the fair. That's great. It needs to go to one other place, please.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hearing is they're going to sell it so we can officially have like a physical headquarters of Fifth and Goal, just in the old arena.
I like this idea.
Sure, it'll be cheap. But imagine the pickup games that we could play.
Oh,
basketball or hockey, I guess.
Rumors are they're going to give it. Rumors are the Wings might take it. Those are way early, but
they could make it
because they're playing there this year now,
right now. They could turn it into a mall.
They could.
They're doing very well.
Yeah,
very well
the Wings already moved to a bigger place, but they're still Arlington.
Okay, gotcha.
So they 100% could move in and be one of the few teams that actually still a Dallas team. Because now Plano is a distinct city that is not Dallas. Right. Arlington is a distinct city that is not Dallas. So it really is right now the Mavs.
Yep. Arlington.
And if I
Cowboys.
if I hear Addison Mavs, I'm going to punch you. Or whatever I'm allowed to say without our Spotify or Apple Music getting censored.
Yeah.
But I'll still punch you.
Gary Bears.
Gary Bears. Hey, all the way. Also, by the way, Gary Bears.
Gare Bear.
Yeah. All right, Johnny.
Gare Bear.
Explain to me the activity notifications I've been getting from you on my watch.
So, are you going to bring us up out of our mire, Johnny?
Yes, because one, I'm on cloud 9 during the World Cup, especially with Team USA doing well. The underdogs are playing really well. This is an open World Cup especially with Spain struggling today, makes you feel even more so like this could be open and we could have up to 6 different nations have a legitimate chance to win this World Cup. So I absolutely love it. There's soccer on all day, basically. I couldn't be happier. But for those of you who have been listening to the podcast for a while, you might remember a while back, probably over a year now, there was a guy who was running the entire length of Africa named Russ Cook. So super long beard, redhead guy, crazy that he ran the whole length of Africa. Well, he has started a bunch of adventures and challenges and running teams. So his organization, now they only also said that they were doing this like 2 days before the World Cup started, so I didn't have proper time to plan for this. But so we have a whole group on WhatsApp and Strava. For every goal that's scored, you have to run a kilometer. And you're like, all right, that's not a ton. Well,
until Germany happens.
And Sweden happens. Those two on the same day was murder. So we started off easy. It was 5K, not too bad, right? You're like, oh, okay, like no big deal. Then it was a 7K and a 7K back to back, and you're like, this is still manageable. Also, it's on the weekend, so you have more time.
Oh, yeah, easy 7K. And then light work.
After that, it was 19. So this morning, I literally ran a near half marathon. I ran a little under 11 miles is the conversion there this morning.
That's crazy.
So now the rules are, if for some reason you guys do want to join, you could walk, bike, you can split it up between multiple runs. Like you don't have to. It's not like you absolutely have to get it done before the next game starts that following day. So it's not like supposed to knock people out. The whole point is kind of, hey, we're all sitting on the couch all day doing nothing. For my Scottish fans, drinking beer all day. Let's do something to stay active at the same time. I don't think the thought process is 19. I think at one point the average amount of goals scored, mostly because of the Germany game, was like 4.5 goals a game, which is a crazy stat. Now, today's going to bring that down. Praise God. And unless this Iran-New Zealand game
Spain did you a
goes
favor.
crazy. Yeah, thank you, Cape Verde. Like, for real.
Yeah.
And these other games today so far, Uruguay and Saudi Arabia and Belgium and Egypt have not gotten out of hand either. So no worries there, but we'll see how long I can go. I'm not super optimistic I can make it the whole tournament, especially when we get to the group stage where there's 6 games in a day in the in the final group stage. We'll see. We'll try our best when we get to that time. We're not thinking about that yet, but right now, so it's the World Cup is all encompassing right now of my life.
I love it. That may also be put on the Fifth and Goal Sports Instagram, so you can track Johnny's progress there potentially. So, in addition to his recaps, in addition to the group previews that are coming out, that's crazy, Johnny. I wish you all the best.
Yes.
Don't die would be my first thought, but that's
when I woke up and it was 58 degrees. When I woke up at 6 this morning, I'm like, thank the Lord above. He knows I needed
58 degrees in June.
No, I mean, Josh, it still got up to like 72 or whatever, but like,
it got up to 72.
It was like the ideal running day, other than the fact it wasn't overcast.
That's beautiful.
If you're running, you would like overcast. Personally, I prefer sun when I'm not running, though, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah. All right. Well, your action statement is maybe don't run like a half marathon, but go take some steps, because you're right. You've been on the couch too long.
Yep.
If you're already conditioned, you can do a half marathon.
Do it on a bike.
Yeah.
Go on a walk. Like,
yes.
You
want to drive.
Pare it down if you want to whatever it is.
Do a kilometer like per match.
Yeah. Like, do whatever ratio you want, but make it something fun and a challenge.
Get one of those cool like mini treadmills and walk during watching the match.
I've literally been doing that.
There's some great ideas right there. And like, I found that like people have said it for forever, but it's absolutely true. If I had just come up with this on my own, this would have like fallen flat like day 2. But because there's just literally like, I think at least 500 of us doing this around the world.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like a cool community of us all doing it, cheering for different countries, and all of us just praising Cape Verde. So it's been a fun time. It's challenging. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, if you wonder why Johnny's just absolutely ecstatic over a save, now you know. Tears rolling down his cheeks after a crossbar. Now you know why. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening to this episode. Thanks for watching it. If you're over on YouTube, if you are, you should subscribe. And you can do that on your favorite podcast platform as well. As we've mentioned throughout the show, hit us up on social media, especially Instagram. We've got lots of World Cup content, a great way to catch up on all the action, assuming Johnny is still alive to tell you and hasn't fallen face first into the pavement from a marathon. That's great. So we're doing that. Also, just as a reminder, the Fifth and Goal World Cup preview is available at fifthandgoalsports.com/World Cup, especially for these teams that we still haven't seen. We still haven't seen Argentina, at least as we're recording. We still haven't seen France. So previews for all of those groups still up and available. So go check that out. So for myself, for Josh, for Johnny, for producer Chris in the Void, thank you for listening to this episode. We'll catch you all next week. Go USA.